Let's continue. Okay, try out. Let me type this out. Alpha pop. Okay. Maybe I can do this. Okay. Alpha pop. Okay, we can do something like this, right? New country. Now it's index equal count. So let's try this, right? I think this will result in segfault. Okay. Okay. No longer exists. Run again. And then max index when start from 0. Okay. So print value count 3. Oh, it's mean E should be 2. Right? We start from 0, 1 and then 2. If let me check. This expression does not start with symbol. Okay. I think that is because next print value cell. That is because of the alpha num instead of the alpha sim. This one. And if we take a look, expression. This one we are taking out the 0 index, the first index from the value, and then if it is not the symbolic one, we got this error. Okay, so let's look again. Okay, alright, we are in this line. Right. entering the line, the conditional. Okay, then print out this error message, then delete. Okay, alright. So we can do that. But yeah, I mean, +1 source destination. If I stop, wait, let me. Oh, okay. Exit normally. So this is not exiting. Wait a minute. Interesting. We are break from the while loop. Oh, there is clean up. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So if we didn't put any input, I guess this make me curious. Disable one. Break no. Okay, print I. Print value cell. Pass. Down. Pass two. Okay. Pass one. Can we access that? Component name. Oh, maybe I should do this. Cell, okay. For sim. Right, and then something like this. Oh, okay. This one. Oh, this one is the num. Alright, and then cut num 0. Okay. First two. Okay. case. Right. Num 0. Okay. Now 2 plus 1 cannot access. So what this mean? And what is source to memory area destination? E plus 1. So if I change E to 2, right? E plus 1 become 3. It should exceed the value count. Or at least the same, right? Value count I 0. Oh, maybe that's why it is fine. I mean, size of value cell, I think it was 8, right? Because the cell is pointer to pointer, so this means we get the size of the pointer. And then if we do this, when I is 2, right, becomes 0. What happens if the size is 0 when we use move? C programming mem size 0. Final argument declares as okay, array for a function and can have the value 0 on call to that function. And the description of a particular function in this subclause. Pointer arguments such as a causal still have valid value. That no gets a character find no occurrence. A function that compares two characters coins return 0. Copies and a function that copies character copies 0 characters. The check is not necessary, or yes, you can pass here. Okay, so we can do this fine. Copy 0 character, okay. So the problem if the index more than or equal count, right? This one, don't think necessary. Less than or equal I. Continue, okay. Exit normally. Then debug. GTP comment. Then 0. Print I. Okay, I forgot that we can check the value of the function parameter in here. And then let's change that to 3, because if I remember correctly, right? Call 3, okay. Then next. Segfault. Why is it segfault? Oh, we are entering the alpha pop again. Interesting. 120. Right. Value count 3. And then cell. What is it? Okay. Can we like? Oh. Now if I do the offset 1, okay. Oh, this is the symbol. Okay, and then offset 2. What about 3? What about I? And of course we can access the address, right? Where do we do that? I think something like this. First count. No, first type. I want to make sure that we are passing this line at least. Segfault, okay. And then let me I is 0 now. Let's change that to 3. Okay. Next. Okay, we are entering the condition. Check for the gain. Interesting. Wait. Is it because of this? I don't think we have item yet. See, it's just gibberish. So I equal 3. Next, I guess. Oh, ho. That's the case. Because value cell 3. Okay. So maybe we should return that before here. Like this. But yeah, what should we return if we don't have the item? Hello, Richie, welcome. Hello, Sasori, Sensi, welcome. I'm running C++. Oh, okay. I haven't tried C++ yet, so I'm not really sure the difference between C and C++. But yeah, I'm learning C currently. I just started function, but I'm so confused in function and don't know how to solve problem. Okay. I'm so confused in function. How do I explain a function? Sometimes it feels so hard. Okay, maybe you can try something simple. I mean, again, I'm not sure how C++ work, but in C, in C, what is it called? I usually create a simple source code, like, for example, like something like this, void, and then return 0, and then what? Use in, something like this. I mean, try, what is it called? Try for something simple, you know. For example, like hello world. Maybe start from there. Include ttio.h, and then you can use print. Right? Something like this. I mean, if you take a look at my early live stream, I don't even know how to create a struct, you know, a struct something like this. something, right? And then, well, I got used to it, I guess. Work out maybe, something like this. I'm not sure if this will compile. Let me try. Let's see. Okay, it compiled at least. Segfault. Okay, interesting. Where is the segfault? Is it from the struct? Yeah, I'm still learning too. Okay, in main include print. Oh, okay, right. This should be integer, not string. My bad. So yes, starts from something simple, and the function means that, what is it called? A mechanism to solve some problem, I guess. For example, let's say you want to create a function for addition, maybe something like this. Add, what is it called? In A in B, and then you add this function, right? Or in case you're new, this is called function prototype, if I remember correctly. So we are kind of planning what the function we want to have, and then we implement that later on. Something like this in B, and then return A plus B. And then, well, you can use this, I guess. Add 1 equal 2. Let's compile that again. Wait, 3. Yeah. Anyway, the function, think of it like some mechanism to solve the problem, I guess. And then you can call this function to have to do some mechanism you want to do. In this example, I want to do addition, right? So I create a function, add, and then use this function to do some addition. Maybe that's the simple way to explain the function. I mean, sure, you can do this in one function, but then the main function or the function you're currently at will become too big, and at one point you may start hitting the stack overflow. I mean, that's another thing. Call stack overflow. So the function, okay. C programming. Oh, interesting. C programming call stack. So basically, every time we call a function, there is this specific memory, I guess, and we put all of the variable and any value in this memory. Usually the people call it the call stack, and there is a limit for the call stack. So if you exceed the limit by having too much, what is it called? By having too much variable or value in the function, then you will hit the Stack Overflow. Something like this, maybe. Okay, let me copy this in case you want to check. So yeah, this basically this memory, and we put all the memory needed for all the function we have that we already call in, let's say in this example, right? I'm calling lfile pop function and lfile file x expression, and then lfile a file that's hard to read, and then the main function, right? This all of this memory needed in this function is usually in the call stack. I mean, there is also something like dynamic memory allocation, which is another topic, but yeah, maybe you can start from something simple and understand that a function consists of some sort of mechanism that help you do something. In this case, I'm creating an add function to help me do the addition for the number. So yeah, maybe that's it. The simple explanation of a function. And for I don't know how to solve problem. I mean, well, that thing need practice, I guess. I mean, when I start out, I'm still not sure how to solve the problem. But yeah, I mean, I've been learning C for maybe around 3 months and kind of comfortable with it, I guess. But I still get a seg fault once in a while. Okay. What should we return? If we change the value, right? The value type as expression, right? There is a chance that we want to trigger the cleanup, you know. So we have this thing called memory leak, I guess. We are not properly cleaning the dynamic memory allocation. Okay. Return value. If I'm returning the value, I mean, I really want to give the error message in the function calling the alpha pop. so that I can give the file name and line number. But if that is not possible, should I add the file name and line number in the function parameter? Maybe that's the way. Like we do something like this, right? Char, right, const char file name, and then no, in site in line number, and then we delete the value and return to fr. And return this one. Okay, to then file name, line number. And then when first type equal fr, we return first. And return the error. Well, let's see how it goes, I guess. I mean, yeah, this is not exactly where the line number of the alpha pop, but it is close enough for me. I mean, if I put this in one line, it might be too long. And now I need to do refactor now. No, not line file. And then line, okay. Okay. Now, okay. Maybe I should put this in another variable. Maybe this one too. Okay, this yeah, alpha loop, alpha pop. Okay. Let's see. Singfold, of course. You don't use autocompletion? No, I don't like autocompletion. It's just visual distraction for me. Oh, too many arguments. Okay. Where is it? Alpha pop. Okay. Constant file name, and then I'm just gonna use unsigned in and hope for the best. Okay, at least it compiled. So what is it called? Okay. Okay. You can see a number. Okay. Right, this one. Okay. Let's check this one. Count equal 3. Okay. Next. Okay. Don't L. Okay. Why is printf not printing that? -1. Okay. Right. We are printing that in here. That is interesting. Now let's try adding the new line character. Continue. Okay. And compile again. Print value count. Okay, 3 and then I3. And then next. Oh, would you see that? Okay. Maybe the new line character is like the trigger, I guess. I mean, if you remember when we didn't use, well, maybe let's do that side by side, right? GTP comment clips 69.0. Okay, print I equal. I can also use set, I guess, but yeah, I usually like to use print just to print out the new result, you know, like making sure that I have the correct result, because integer overflow happen. And wait, okay, I have integer value, right, for I, and if I use limits.h, the value of the maximum value of integer, like this, oh sorry, or more than the value of the maximum, more than the maximum value of integer, like this, I will get an overflow. So I just want to make sure that the value that I assign is the same as what I expected, not getting this integer overflow kind of thing. Anyway, and then we need to next, I guess. Okay, then eval, okay, C, this one, sorry, we are not printing that, printing the first and then the type, right? But if we continue again, it will being print with the error message with another printf argument. Let me continue. Okay, that is interesting, you could say, and that make me wonder if we use one printf, right, are we using the same memory allocation for other printf too? Yeah, that is interesting. You made the website in the same setup as this? Yes, I made the website in the same setup as this, and I'm doing web development in the same setup too. I mean, when using, what is it called? When I'm doing web development, sometimes I use the LSP, in case you didn't know, a language server protocol. Sometimes I use this too, right? The language server protocol. But for now I didn't use the LSP because I want to know the basic stuff, like, you know, learning the hard way. But yeah, sometimes I use this. For example, I have a Golang project, right, called Simo, and I have this, what is it called? This completion from the LSP, things easier, I guess. But yeah, I'm not using the auto completion, which basically the completion pop up every time I type, because I feel like that's kind of visual distraction, you know. At least for me. Like, did you see this? The completion block the view below or upper the code. Like, when I'm typing, I want to know what is below and what is it, upper or the previous line, you know. So yeah, when I need completion, I will trigger that manually rather than using the auto completion, the automatic mechanism. I mean, that is just personal preference, I guess. So you might not like that, but again, it is subjective. Okay, that kind of make me wonder, did printf see programming printf using the same memory address across what is it called? Cross execution. I run the same print statement, huh? Oh, in my C program, every time I run the exact same statement. Why is this negative one? Why do you think it should never change? Print ever comment list. Okay. Oh no, this is not what I'm expected. I mean, sure, if we run this, what is it called, multiple time, the memory address with printf will be different, because the randomizer is that it? But yeah, what I am curious is, you know, printf, multiple printf without new line. Okay, include stdioh. Okay, in main void printf in new, and let's use 69, right? And then, oh right, we shouldn't use the new line character, and then gain it to no 42 69 42 0. Okay, just a keep one. Let's compile that. Okay. sometimes I forgot that Control W in Emacs key binding can be different. Multiple print. Okay. Let me copy this and then multiple. This is interesting. Now, while maybe let's using for, right? In I equal 0 and less than 1, I guess. But if I use 4, then the printf what is it called? The printf make ID be cleaned up. I want to check the behavior when the printf get terminated. Maybe using while. Okay, and then other than using read line, I think I can use, what is it, puts and get. Let me check. Oh, f puts and f gets. Okay. F puts. Wait. F put. How many do we have? 2 main bits. Okay. Const jar file. Okay. Do I need this? Maybe STT out. File. Okay. And then what is it? Get put f get. Okay. I don't remember the function. F get jar. Oh, what if get written? This is interesting. F get returning the pointer to jar. So what it is returning? Store it into the buffer. Return S on success and null on error, or when a file occurs while no character have been read. Okay. interesting. In size jar has to exercise. So we need to have the array of char to store that. Okay. Should we use static? Nah. For this example, I don't think we need to use static, but okay, I know. Oh, storage, I guess. Variable is just another data storage in case anyone didn't realize that. Oh, the size is 6. Okay. Maybe I can just this storage size 69. In case you are curious why I'm using a macro instead of a variable, because the macro is, what is it called, is being solved during the compile time. So this one will be replaced by 69 when we compile the source code, rather than using the variable during the runtime. I mean, if I remember correctly, there's this thing called variable length array. Which is not available before the specific standard, I guess. So I want to make it as portable as possible, or introduced in the C9 standard. C11 made them optional, right? So not all compiler may support them. Here's the thing. Not all compiler may support them. It's basically, instead of providing the array length during the runtime when we run the program, during the compile time, rather than providing the array length before, during the compile time, during when we compile the source code, we provide the array length during the runtime, which is using the variable. We have no idea what this variable value is until we run the source code. So that's why this is the variable length array that happen to be, what is it called, that is evaluated during the runtime rather than the compile time, whose size is not fixed at compile time. So we know the length, the array length, when we run the binary file, rather than when we compile the source code. Let me copy this in the chat. I don't know anything. Where do I start from? Yeah, start by do you know any? Do you ever do another programming language? Did you ever use another programming language? If yes, then well, maybe you can start by making some program that you need. For example, the easiest one is a program to add a number, right? You can just create a function like this one, a main function that take up some some value, and then add those value to the and print out those value. A simple addition program. Well, maybe I can give an example, I guess. Inu.c, right? stdio. I think it is in, right? Argument count, and then the argument vector, is that the word? Or maybe something like this. I guess this is easier. Return 0, right? We are printing out the argument that we have. Argument vector. I'm not sure if this is gonna work, but let's find out. Okay, yeah. I forgot to provide the... Oh, interesting. Yeah, anyway, you can create something like this to print out the argument, or maybe something more easy or easier. Is that the word? 1+1. Anyway, get used to the syntax and then you will be fine. The point is the practice, like create something that you need. Start from something simple like addition of function or some other arithmetic stuff. Okay, it is. Wait, let me remove this. And then going from there. I'm currently learning C programming language by following this book. Let me copy this in the chat. But yeah, I'm doing something that this book didn't teach me. So I modify the source code from this book and doing things that I feel like I need that, and that's when I learn, I guess, by implement something that I want to do. Okay, anyway, let's take a break Let me go to the toilet for a bit. Be right back. Okay, did you already know Vim before learning C? Yes. I learned Vim first before learning C, programming language. That is why I'm kind of familiar with Vim. But yeah, I know Vim first before learning C. I mean, I use Vim for my undergraduate thesis, I guess. And well, my undergraduate thesis using Python. So yeah, I need to learn Vim and learning Python at the same time back then. What AI? What is AI? Are you graduate? And what is that? Are you graduation? Is that what you mean? Oh, graduated. Okay. Yes, I've already graduated college, and I'm currently on career break. I mean, previously I've worked on the web development, and now I want to try out working on the low-level stuff, like a system engineering or something like that. If you know about the Linux kernel, yeah, maybe one day I will be able to contribute to the Linux kernel or any other project that you see at least. That's why I want to learning C, right? It is mostly C. Let me copy this in the chat, or maybe Vim, right? I mean, Vim also using C. most of the source code. Okay, the Vim script, it's a lot of Vim script. I mean, I know a little bit of Vim script too, but yeah, it also you see. So I want to try out working on the low level stuff and see, you could say, simpler to learn the low level stuff. It is not the easiest because, well, simple does not mean easy, right? For example, if you know about shell, right, usually something like this. What is it? PR. It's basically we're parsing the output from the ls command, right? This directory content to the grep, which is print something that matches the pattern. So the output of ls piping into the grep, which means that the output of ls becomes the input of grep, something like that. Now what happens if the comment doesn't exist? Right, for example, no comment doesn't exist, right? And we are trying to pipe that to grep. What would happen? Yeah, it will still being executed. Oh, this is interesting. Previously, what is it called? The piping will throw out an error too, right? If I remember correctly. Let me check in PS. Okay, maybe I was wrong. But the problem is that if there is an error in the piping, it is kind of hard to handle those errors because piping is so simple, you know. It is so simple that implementing error handling become harder. Let's put it that way. Oh yes, we can. I mean, if you take a look at the main page or the documentation, grep is basically a file, you know. The input can be a file, and or maybe the default input is a file. So if we have some file, let's say maybe we can use the readme, I guess. Dot file readme, right? I can just grep without the piping. Or maybe usually people use grep. Wait, what is it called? With something like the line number, right? I forgot what S. Oh, the recursive and the line number 1. This one, graphic each line. Wait, let me try. What do I want to search? Let's use GCC. Okay, there is a lot of GCC, but yeah, this is usually what people use, grep, right? the file name and the line number, and then the line itself. Or maybe using example would be, let's try without dot. Okay, the line number and the file name and the line number. So doing get file txt is unuseful. Yes, I mean, some people call it cat abuse, something like that. But yeah, it is not necessary. You can just use grep and then the pattern and then the file directly. You don't need to use cat file and then something like this. That is not necessarily one new thing to learn, right? You can even what is it called, grepping with the recursive one. So the default grep is file, right? The default input for grep is file, but we can make grep searching recursively using the recursive flag, which make grep read all file, not only one file, but all file under each directory. So yeah, there is this recursive flag, and I think let's example, right? What this means is that we are recursively searching for example, the pattern that we want in the current directory, and we found this without the line number, right? But usually people will put the line number too, so they knew which line it is. Okay. Alright, let's continue with our experiment. Checking out the printf. I mean, it is kind of interesting, you know. Like, we have all of this printf, and then suddenly all of this concate into one output. Is that the word? Yeah. I'm still not sure what's going on underneath, but let's try to find out as much as we can. Restrict stream. Okay, the stream is the in. Okay. Okay. Is it? Wait a minute. Okay. Okay, is it in? So is it gonna be? Oh, pointer of array. Okay. Yeah, I kind of forgot what the argument vector is. Okay. Steady in. And is it gonna return char? Maybe something like this. It will return the pointer to char, right? The indirection to char. Okay. Char input, I guess. Okay, and then put this here. Let's see how it goes. Wait, I think this one. fget, wait. Expected 3 F2 char size and then file, right? Oh, why did I put semicolon in the macro? Yeah, my bad. Background multiple. Okay. That is something. If input equal null, break. You know what? Let's remove the new line character and then compile this again. Multiple, okay. Interesting. Let me use file grind. Okay. To unlock and 0 free. Where is the allocation? Is it in the fget? Did the fget need to be free? That is Yep. Okay, playground multiple. Right. There is no image key binding. Okay. We don't need to free the input. So where is this double allocation, Let me compile again. Multiple, okay. And now full grind. Whoosh. Oh, right. I thought that was a loading, but no. 2 unlocks and 0 free. Lick check full. Lick check full. The first one, lick check full to see the details, and then we need another flag. So lick kinds. That is interesting. Okay. F gets. Alright. So the F gets is the one that's not paying free, and also print F. Alright. Printf is not paying free. That is interesting. Let's do something extreme, I guess. Okay. Oh, right. I forgot to compile that. Full grind. Let me copy this. Okay, let's check. Print off. Okay. Printf. But after printing all of this, we only use one memory allocation. That is interesting. I mean, can we get the memory? Not this one. Formatted output conversion, okay. The in. Right. What is the return value? Again. the number of bytes printed. Okay. And we are not free to print F because we are still in the loop. Is that it? If we didn't, alright. I kind of forgot to compile. No, not that one. One alloc, one free. So is it gonna be free when we return the function? Is that it? Let's try using the for loop. In I equals 0, and then let's loop this for 3 times, I guess. Okay. No, not this one. Okay. I am not fast enough. 10. Let's do 10. Okay. We are terminating before even running to print F. But yeah, interesting. Okay, I'm not fast enough. Oh, Maybe 100 is. Let's try this out. Okay. No. Yeah, I want to check if are we free the memory after the looping or before the looping, or maybe before, maybe when we return the function. Is that it? Yeah, like if we do this before, How to check that? Well, maybe for now this is enough. For an experiment, I guess. Without new line. Multiple F, okay. Oh, wait, this is not really representing what I want. Wait. First, right? Void, and then second. Okay, maybe something like this. Voice first. And then no. Okay. 42. Alright. First, second. Multiple printf. See, no, this might be what I want. And yeah, maybe one day I will know if this is considered what is it called? One memory or separate memory allocation. Maybe one day, but currently I have no idea how to do that. Get commit. An example of using multiple printf. Where are you from? I'm from Indonesia. The actual Indonesian. The AI, right? I'm from Indonesia. Okay, This is an example of using multiple printf dot new line in separate function. Which will result in one output, I guess. One line output. This make me wonder. To printf use the same memory allocation to using printf even when we use it multiple times. I mean, when using for clean report that there is one memory allocation. Even though we use printf multiple times. Wait, maybe I should add an explanation too. To one line when we use for printf still report of that we only use one memory location. That means we share. We use the same location even though use multiple printf. Okay. Utils 123. This one, right? Wait. Print out into one line. printf call is interesting. We'll print out output only on the last printf call. Is the memory allocation even set no default time? Check again with that new line in spirit function. Printf call. Git commit amend. Printf call. The one with new line character. Wait. What is it? Okay. The one with new line character. It's not more. Okay. Now add another tutu. I think in this one, check if we use complex expression like in the sample, and then and then handle alter for pop error in another function. We can safely provide the negative one file as the index. Because when the size is 0, the max value in 0 index space because the size is 0, memo will not sorry. How is Indonesia? Not good. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of chaos. Well, basically other country too, but yeah, it's been chaotic, especially with those flood. Is that the word? Yeah, you know, the rainy season, and then there's a lot of water. Coming out. Yeah, a lot of natural disaster, I guess. Wait. What? Yeah, pointer because. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong manual. That source to destination. So because we didn't move any character or any byte, 0 byte, does that mean the the destination, what is it called? The value in the memory area, the destination memory area is still the same. Is there a POSIX one? Okay, there is a POSIX one. Hopping takes place as if the end byte from the temporary array. So basically the source, right? And then the temporary memory area, and then the destination memory area. But if the size is 0, is there any moving process? End byte from temporary area. I mean, if we move 0 byte from the source into temporary memory area and then to the destination memory area, is the destination memory area will be cleaned up, doesn't have the same value, something like that, the previous value, or maybe the current value. Set by you. Is that the name of the questionnaire? It does not specify that. So then that is good without problem, since they are usually implemented somehow like line. Oh, wait, if length is 0 and then we are decremented, oh, wait, is this sequence point? Is that it? So we make sure that this is the side effect of this running first before doing this. C programming sequence point. Wait a minute. I think this one. C++ greater sign as sequence point. I mean, think this is sequence point. But yeah, if the length is 0, oh, okay, 0 is not greater than 0, okay. I mean, this is can be hard to read. Which one is executed first, right? If I remember correctly, this one is executed first, which means that we got the, what is it, the reference of the current TSD memory address, and then we then increment that. Yeah, something like, maybe it is something like this. Oh, sorry, not something like this. Something like this. If I remember correctly, if I understand correctly, which basically means that we're dereferencing the SD and then assigning this value, the SRC value, and then increment it afterward. Something like that. Almost all. Not default size. Okay, but that doesn't change the substance. Okay. Move 0 bytes. Okay. I think before that, check move 0 byte in playground. Okay. Alright, hello Tiffan, welcome back. Why your eyes so black? I mean, I'm not sure. Matteo Italia is from Italy. I know him. What are you talking about, Luigi? Oh, this. Okay. The person who answered this one. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Let me create the file first. Move with 0 size. Include. I think my move is string. Okay. In the string header. Okay. Return 0. Can I okay, how many bytes do I want to move? What is it called? I don't think we... Yeah, I don't think we need to use malloc, right? I think... So unless it is a memory address, the destination, okay. So what is the destination? Maybe something like this. Char, and then there is source, right? A, for example. And the destination, and then move. Destination source 1 byte. Return the pointer to destination. Okay. So to this, right? This. Okay. Maybe that's the case of it. It compile. Okay. This value. continue this on the next session, I guess. I think what? I'm currently trying to build the Lisp interpreter. If you didn't know about Lisp, it is basically a programming language. Copy this in the chat. So, and what we are creating is so far basically something like this. Right, there should be no first. I need to recompile that, I guess. This is what we create so far. Right. And if you know about Python, this is Python. So it's kind of similar, but what I create is simpler than Python. The point is to learn C programming language by building the interpreter, the simple interpreter. So yeah, and this is the Lisp syntax. If you know about Lisp, yeah. Luigi asks, can you make a macro in Vim that automatically creates main void? Yes, you can. If I remember correctly, I'm already creating that back then. This in template. Yeah, something like this. Or maybe, what is it called? Python. But I don't really use that anymore. I think this one, right? Okay. Template download, okay. Why is this red? Oh, because yeah, this is the Neo Vim 1. Vim doesn't have STD-pad. Okay. We can create something like this. Like basically we read the file and then just what is it? Just put the template, I guess. Right. Here's an example. Or maybe Vim. Oh no. It's something like this. So yeah, technically we can do that, but I don't feel the need to use that. So yeah. What OS are you using? I'm currently using Linux with i3, like what Luigi said. With distro, I use Arch Linux. Okay, you're so logged in. I want to be like you. Well, thank you, Sophia. I mean, yeah. Oftentimes I'm too focused that sometimes I forgot to eat when I do something like programming, for example. The terminal kind of thing Instead new Vim. I'm currently using Vim, but yeah, you can also use new Vim, I guess. So yeah, I'm using Arch Linux and using Vim, and I'm also using Tmax as my, what is it called? As my terminal multiplexer, or you could say as my tab, because my terminal emulator doesn't have tab. I mean, this is my terminal emulator. It doesn't have tab. So I use Tmax as a tab, and the multiplexing, I guess, the split pane, this one, to split between window, or in Tmax call it pane, this one, split into rectangular pane, something like that. So yeah, what's the benefit of using Tmax instead of spanning new terminal window? Well, for me, sometimes I use TTY. I mean, if you didn't know about TTY, where is it? Linux TTY. I mean, I cannot really show you. Okay. If you want to access TTY on Linux, you can use Alt Control F2 or any F key, I guess. F1 until what, F10 maybe, or maybe F9. Anyway, you can use Alt Control F key to access the TTY. And inside of TTY, well, it's basically just a big terminal, and we cannot open another terminal, you know. So in that kind of scenario, using Tmax is more beneficial rather than opening multiple TTY, right? And also with Tmax, I can use this detach, and let's say I accidentally close my terminal window like this. I can just using Tmax attach, and I'm back to where I left off, you know. And also there's a session, right, or the window stuff like this, which we can take a look. So yeah, for me that's the benefit of using Tmax instead of multiple window. I mean, if I open multiple window, it can be hard to track which step I'm currently or which program that I'm using, you know, like on which terminal emulator did the program I'm currently running. And it can be quite lengthy to look at. In this file, there's also the preview, right? So I kind of know what's going on in the window, in the Tmax window, or the Tmax pane. So yeah, for my case, that's the benefit. Oh, and also don't forget about the detach feature, right? It's quite useful, you know. So where did you learn using Linux? I'm I'm learning Linux by trying, I guess. I mean, I'm using CLI every day, like on a daily basis. So that is where I learn by doing stuff. I mean, if you ask me the resource I used to learn Linux, well, I don't have any specific result. Usually I'm trying to create a shell script, right? For example, this one. I'm trying to create a shell script and then I'm checking out the command in my shell before creating the shell script. For example, something like this, right? Great. What is it? Run, I guess. I'm checking out the command in shell, and if you didn't realize, shell is basically like a REPL, a simple read, evaluate, print loop. For example, we can create a shell function like this, echo inu, right? And then call this function like this, or even providing the, what is it called, the parameter or argument, something like this, inu itu, echoing itu. And if you know about Python, in Python we can also create a function, I think like this. I kind of forgot. Oh, maybe something like this. Print and then calling this function. Right, it is kind of the same thing with the enu, with the shell. Echo enu, right? Unset enu, okay. And then when we call it again, not found because we already delete the function. Okay. What do you think of Emacs? I think Emacs is interesting, right? I mean, it do a lot of things, but yeah, I don't use Tmux because and not Tmux, Emacs, right? I don't use Emacs because yeah, I want a simple text editor, I guess. You know what they said? Do one thing and do it well. I want this kind of program. I mean, I believe you can replace Tmux and Vim with only Emacs, you know. But for me, yeah, I like using Tmux and Vim. It's just a personal preference, you know. Do you use Vimotion also in the terminal prompt? No. I don't use Vimotion in the terminal prompt. And this is kind of interesting, I guess. If you take a look at my CSH config, I'm actually using the Emacs key binding. Let's take a look, right? Where is it? This one. The test E is the Emacs key binding. So basically, when I'm using shell, right, in the shell prompt, I am using Emacs key binding. Like if you know about Control E, something like this, Control E will go to the, it's like using home, Control E going to the beginning, and Control E going to the end. And that is why I kind of, what is it called? I kind of forgot that the Control W in Emacs, or in at least in Shell, is kind of different than Vim. If you use Control W, it will delete all the character in, what is it, until we hit another space, I guess. So if we want something like Vim, we can use Control Alt Control H or Alt backspace, I guess. But yeah, in CSS it is different. Key test L, I guess. No, not that one. I kind of forgot how to list the key binding. Bind key. Nah. Yeah, I kind of forgot. It's been a while since I... These are existing key map names. Okay. But yeah, anyway, I didn't use VI of or Vim key binding with my shell. I'm using Emacs key binding instead. My pinky finger hurts when I use Emacs key binding. Well, in Vim, you also need to use your pinky to access control. Or maybe you remap that to caps lock, I guess. Some people remap the key binding, the control key to the caps lock. But yeah, for example, in Vim, in insert mode, you can use Control W, you know, to directly delete the character, right? I mean the definition of character in Vim. You can take a look at is keyword, I guess. If I remember correctly, this is the definition of word in Vim. So there is, what is it called? Two definition, word and capitalized word. So this is for the lowercase word. For the capitalized word, if I remember correctly, is when, what is it called? Is something like hitting the next space, if I remember correctly. This one, word, and then word. Non-backspace, non-blank character. Right. Followed by space. So it's like using the W and the uppercase W in Vim. The W, right? And then the uppercase W. There's a difference. Which OS are you using? I'm using Linux currently, and the distro is Arch Linux. So yeah, okay. I guess that's it for now. So thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye bye. Wait. Okay.